Hi again everyone, it's Denise here for another tutorial for a card class that we've done. If you've bought the kit, thank you so much and welcome to the tutorial. And if you did not, that's okay. Follow along, see what you have at home that you can use and create your own. And don't forget to post it. So I have the card this way because as you may have known from other videos, I never really know which way it's supposed to be or which way is not upside down for you. So I'm going to turn it this way just in case again. So before I forget, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the channel and that little bell so that you know when we upload other videos or techniques of things for you to watch, whether or not you've bought a card kit. And if this technique is helpful to you or you like the card or you've made the card, don't forget to click that like button. So the first thing that we're going to do is unpack our kit. So we have, I've already taken it out of the plastic. We have our envelope, not going to need that right now anyway. We have our Slimline card base. I tend to make my Slimlines the largest size, which is 9x4. So you would cut your paper, if you were to do this at home, 9x8 and then score at 4. So you have 4 you're going to score on the 8 side, right? So score at 4. This still fits in a number 10 envelope, which is a standard business envelope at, Staples, Office Max, BJ's, Costco, any of those places. But we're not going to need that just yet either. You have your embossed, I love this embossing folder, right? And it's such a deep emboss. And oddly, not even a 3D folder, but what a nice emboss we got on this. So this embossed piece. And then you have a sheet of watercolor paper. And that watercolor paper has been pre-embossed. I hope this isn't too blurry for you, but I know that you can see it on yours. I'm just trying to show you the shiny on mine there. You have 3 flowers and you have 3 leaves, and in the middle you have an empty space, and that empty space is for you to use to die cut any greeting you would like. We used a die cut of hello in class. We used a regular die. I'm sure you can use the Cricut or Silhouette or anything else with this, but remember it is watercolor paper, so it is pretty thick. I don't know if you'll need a deep blade or not. I'm not a Cricut expert by any means, so just keep that in mind when you're cutting. So we have a space. Now your space may be in a different spot, but there is a space in the middle for you to use for that die cut. That's why things are sort of all around the outside there. So what you're going to do first is we're not going to color this together in this tutorial because 1, we already have a tutorial for it, but also 2, because we don't have too many kits left and I don't want to waste any kits. So if somebody who didn't buy the kit sees this and wants a kit, they can still get it rather than me wasting one. So you're going to go, if you don't already know how to do this, to the smoosh technique video that we put there, and it's smooshing on cardstock, not the glossy cardstock. That has some different steps to it. You're going to use regular cardstock. Now I use Distress Oxide ink. You can use whatever ink you want. I assume it probably has to be water reactive, but I use Distress Oxide. You can use regular Distress. Lyman Hurley is also a water reactive ink. So many of them are now these days. And as you can see, I hope on this sample, I used a variety. I used a yellow, I actually used a pink, and I used a blue, and I think I used a little green. Now that green on the leaves, I tend to go to mowed lawn for that one in the Distress family. This may have been, the pink may have been picked raspberry. I think the blue was salty ocean. The yellow was probably squeezed lemonade. And then that's how we got the purples and the other hues in there. So what you're going to do is you're going to watch that smoosh video, and the one for cardstock is the same thing for this. Do however many colors you want. I wanted mine a little more colorful because it's the only thing on the card. But I will tell you this. I did mine on 2 different pieces of paper, unlike what you're doing. So my hello was done on a different sheet than my flowers. My flowers, I dried in between every layer, as I tell you to do on the video. And my hello, I did not. And I want you to see the difference between them. I know you have the glare from the plastic, but look how bright these are. And look how kind of muddied that is. Maybe you can see it better this way. I know there's a shadow, but the colors are more vibrant on the flowers than they are here. I used the same paper. I used the same inks. So I may have used some extra water on here, and I probably did not, in a rush, did not dry in between each layer, and that's why they all got muddied together as opposed to being vibrant like this flower where you can see all of the different colors. So just a cautionary tale for you. So the great thing about video is that if I'm speaking too quickly for you, you can pause it, you can rewind. I always suggest watching the video the whole way through and then going back to do the card and pause or rewind as needed. For now though, if you don't know how to do this technique, again, go find on our channel the smooshing technique. Again, not for glossy paper, for cardstock. Water paper is going to be the same thing. Go color your paper with whatever inks that you would like, and when you're done, come on back to this video. So I'm just going to wait 2 seconds so that you have a chance to find where you are when you come back. Okay, so I assume that you are back then, or you're still with me. So now that you have your paper done, again, I'm not going to do it because I don't want to waste a kit, but now that you have your paper all colored and heat dried, you're going to fussy cut. Now, make sure that if you haven't already, because this is embossed, just take a little paper towel and, rub off the ink from the embossing. It should come right off. You should still see the white, just like mine here. You still see the white edges of the stamp. So just rub that off. It'll come right off. Nothing wet though, because remember, your ink, if you used a Distress ink or something else, it's water reactive. It's water reactive, right? You'll affect what you just did. So now you're going to take, I would say, microfine scissors, and you're going to fussy cut your 3 flowers and your 3 leaves. I know I'm not a fan of fussy cutting either, but that's what we did in class too. There's no option for it. So you're going to fussy cut those. Being careful though, because you need this here for your word. This piece of paper is small enough that it will fit through any normal size machine, none of the minis, but any regular size machine. So if you want to pop your die on there, you have a word die you want to use, you want to pop it on there before you cut anything out. That way you can maneuver it a little bit better. Feel free, have at it. If not, that's okay. Just leave that for yourself. Don't just cut into it. You need that space for your sentiment. Put that up here. There we go. All right, so you're going to fussy cut. You're going to cut your sentiment, and then all you're going to do is very simple. Easiest card, right? It's all about the technique. Take your base, top folding, so fold facing away from you. Okay. Take your embossed panel and center it as best as you can. I don't tend to use tape runners when I make cards. I tend to use liquid adhesive because it gives me a little more play and a little extra time. A dry adhesive, you put it down and that's it. You pull it up and you risk ripping the paper or something underneath it. So I do tend to use liquid glue. In the shop, we use the Barely Arts Dries Clear Glue. It's got a great fine tip on it. It comes with all the little tips and accessories to it, which I know with the Art Glitter Glue, which is another one of my very favorites, you have to buy all the tips and things separate. The Barely Art Glue, though, if you live in a cold climate, can be shipped to you in the winter or below freezing with no problems whatsoever. And if you've watched any of the other videos, you know that that's not the case with the Art Glitter Glue, and that I have personal knowledge about that. So I would take my Barely Art Dries Clear Glue and pop it around the edges. I don't need a whole lot of it, but I'd pop it around the edges, pop it right on down onto my card, center it as best as I can, pop it down. Then I take my flowers that I cut, and it's your card. Put them anywhere. If you like them where I have them, great, put them there. If you don't, that's okay. Maybe you like them on this side. Maybe you want to do a cluster of 2 and 1 down here and your sentiment in the middle. It's your card. There is no right way, there is no wrong way. So whatever looks great to you, that's the way you should do your card. So again, this is not a very time-consuming card as far as assembling it. What does take the time is stamping and heat embossing your flowers, your images, and then doing the actual coloring of the paper and drying in between. So if you like this card and you found it kind of easy to do, or a nice simple card, maybe you have thanks, you want to put thanks on there, because really, who doesn't need cards at work. Many people are back in the office, so who doesn't need cards at work these days? So if you want to use something else, of course, use something else. If you want it in a different spot, fine. If you want to make a bunch of the paper, that way you can cut it as you go and make cards as you have time. While you have that heat gun and that ink out, go for it. That's what I do. I try to make a bunch at a time. That way I have them ready to go. So if you have any questions, please feel free to post them in the Facebook group, which is Scrapbooking Stuff Group. Scrapbooking Stuff Group on Facebook. I don't monitor the comments on the YouTube channel, so if you have any questions at all, please put them there. You can find any of the inks you may need, the Barely Art Dries Clear glue. We even have card bases, Slimline card bases in the store. If you need any of those supplies, feel free to contact Christina or just go online to licraftstop.com and just go shopping there. Add the stuff to your cart. You can also find other card class kits that we did, whatever are still available there. And there are videos for all of them coming at this time. Not all of the videos are up yet or recorded yet, but hopefully by the time you buy a kit, they will be. So again, if you have any questions, please be sure to ask. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel, and we hope to see you in a card class soon. Thanks for taking the class or watching along, and be sure to post your creations for us in Facebook. Have a great day, everyone.